Hey guys, I am outside in my home garden and I am beyond excited because well, I've been working on a lot of little projects and I have a lot of little projects in the works, but I've had one project in the back of my mind for a few months now that I did not think was going to happen this fast, um, but it is. So some little projects are going on the back burner, which is fine because I've got a big project at home that I need to get done before all the craziness of the farm starts for the year. So right now I am having to kind of deconstruct a lot of the things I've done in my garden. When we put in the chicken coop and chicken run about exactly a year ago, and did a lot of the renovations in the garden. So sad to see all the stuff come up that I worked really hard to do, but the end result will always be the most exciting. So it's always going to get worse before it gets better, right? So I'm going to show you what I've done so far before I tell you exactly what the big project is. Okay, well, this is one of the big things that has to get moved. So I took everything out of it. I had all my apple trees in there, so I carefully dug out as much soil around them as possible so I could just kind of take the whole chunk out and hopefully not disturb them much, because this thing is way too heavy to move without breaking it with all of the soil and stuff in it. So we've got that out. I had to take all the bricks out from under it, and basically what's going to happen is I'm going to move this down there. Probably going to have to take out that lilac bush right there, and there's the pile of bricks that I took out because I'm going to do the exact same thing. I want to pad under it again with all the soil that I took out. I dug up a rose bush that was in the way, and all the stuff that was in that shrub that I just showed you is kind of just temporary holding in spots for now, mostly lavender, a few other random things. I've got bricks right here, all the rocks from around the chicken coop, which might give you a clue, and a bunch of stuff that will need planted when this project is all done. But I'm going to share that we are doubling the size of the chicken run. So I'm just so excited. As you know, a few months ago we added 2 new chickens that I got from a friend to the coop, and I just want a little more room for all of the girls. And so a major deal came up and I was able to get another rugged ranch run just like this one. So we're gonna have twice the size, so it'll be 16 feet long. So it's gonna be really awesome. So we have to, though, move this down so we can put the new run in and get that all set up. But that basically means all this stuff has to get moved. That run will stay there, but we'll take the back wall off so we can attach the other one, and there's going to be a door in the middle so I can put them in one side if needed, like while I'm cleaning, which will be really nice. But that coop has to get moved probably around this area. Gonna move the truck down. It's gonna be the same setup, just be a lot longer. So we're gonna extend the garden another 8 feet basically, and we'll get that all set up. So I'm gonna share along with the process as we get that done, and I'm so excited. Stay tuned. So one thing we do have to do, which is a little more difficult, is we have to take this corner off of the original coop, because we're gonna have a second one up against it. So we need to get this out, which means taking these nails that are pounded in out. So that's proving to be slightly difficult because I don't want to break this, but we will get there. The new run in place, got it all connected. It worked amazing. We used another rugged ranch. They have an extension kit, but we actually just got a second complete run and were able to make that work. It was like a couple inches off, but by the time you get the top on it and everything, it looks just fine. You would never know. And it was actually ended up being a little bit cheaper because of the sale that we got, so that was amazing. So it was cheaper than the extension kit at the place that we got it from. So super awesome, so happy. They're exploring it now. I got it all arranged for them so they could play in it. So I'm, as you can see, taking a water break because I'm exhausted already. We laid brick around all the edge, just like the first one, so it's all level and it looks nice, and it'll help make it last a little bit longer so it's not directly on the ground. I did have to take, I saw earlier, part of the flower bed apart, so we got the corner on the other end over there, so now we've got some gaps on either side. The wall needs to be pieces of wood floor to make the extended flower beds just so like it was before, but all the way around. Got the coop all set up, and then I put the large rocks all around the coop again. It's probably not necessary, but I just want to be better safe than sorry. I put those there most because it looks beautiful, but also for a predator to deter, and it's harder for a dog or something to crawl under there to maybe get in. So have that all done, bricks all laid out. There's just a lot of finishing stuff now, so I can't really do a lot more yet until I get the wood and finish the beds, and then we'll be, planting and making it look beautiful again. So I'm gonna go take a rest. Stay tuned. Okay, so we did a little reworking of the brick. I had to take all of that out that was under the veg trug before, and so we had to move everything down, so it's a few feet farther down than it was before, but basically the same layout for that. But I did add one of my rose, extended a little bit and added a rose bush in there that I just got, and some rocks, and then I also decided to do brick right here and do brick over here. So before I had some mixed stepping stones and none of it really matched, but I like this look a lot better, so I figured I had to redo it anyway, so why not change it up a little bit. Okay, so this has been kind of a long project, but I finally did the finishing touches on it a couple days ago, and that would be for the chicken run expansion. So I'm going to show you around what we did. It's basically just a lot larger, not a bunch of huge changes, but there was a lot of work that went into it to give these ladies double the space, so I would like to show you that right now. Okay, so you remember we had to take these beds out when we had to add in that second extension. And so what I've done, just because at the moment the budget has not allowed to add more of these wood pieces to make it all match, but what I did have was a bunch of brick from some that I removed from a bed that was on the other side, and then just a bunch that was still left over from another project. So I basically just added on in the empty spots here. As you can see, that's part of the old bed, and then I just added bricks right along it. And luckily it's literally the same color, so I don't think it looks too terrible. Obviously this is just temporary, unless I can find a bunch more bricks, because I kind of like the bricks better. We'll see. Right now it works. And so what I did, I kind of redid the whole beds here, because I ended up having to take out all the plants, obviously, so we didn't squish them, so we didn't have to work around them. So I actually took a couple things out that didn't work, which was the blueberry plants. They didn't like it over here. Too much fertilizer from the chickens, I guess. But what did like it was the strawberries, the roses, and all the herbs. So I added some more herbs from around other places in the garden. Lavender and roses. I added a few more rose bushes to both sides, and so I just replanted it all. Added compost here and replanted all around the side. You can kind of see the length gets much longer now. And I did the same thing over here. This was a much smaller space, and I decided to include my apple tree basically in the bed instead of going all the way to the end with adding the bed. So I just had a little bit of space to put right here, and then I just left my apple tree on the end to kind of cover up that area. But another thing I did do was add in the blueberry plants that I dug up, and then a couple more that I was actually gifted. So they're over here, and they're not going to get all the chicken manure spread on them like they were before, so they should do a lot better on this side. And again, this was all the stuff that we had to move, so I had to lay that brick back down. I got the trug, which is this large planter over here, back in place. Got my trees planted back in it. They're doing great since then, because this was like a month ago when I started that project. So I hope you loved the new run extension project that chickies sure do. They've enjoyed it for about a month now, and they really like having their separate areas. So they have one room that they keep their food and treats in, and then another one that they kind of just have all their play stuff in. So it's been really awesome, and I'm so glad we did it. Stay tuned for more fun projects.